There's something about the 1990s that still hits the heart in a soft, familiar way. Maybe it was the music on the radio, the glow of neon lights at night, or the way we'd pile into cars for a road trip with no GPS, just a map that never folded the right way. Cars back then had a different kind of magic. They weren't overloaded with screens or apps. They were simple, honest machines that carried us through family vacations, first dates, and early morning drives to school. But not every great car from that era stayed in the spotlight. Some were overshadowed, misunderstood, or just unlucky. Today, we're dusting off the old photo album to look back at 10 forgotten cars from the 1990s that were actually brilliant. Cars that deserved a longer moment in the sun. Take a seat, settle in, and let's go for a ride. 1. The Mazda MX-3, the tiny V6 wonder. The early 90s were full of bold ideas, but none were quite as strange and charming as the Mazda MX-3. Mazda squeezed one of the smallest V6 engines ever sold into a little hatchback, and somehow it worked. The engine didn't roar, it sang, with a smooth, high-revving tone that felt almost joyful. For young drivers, it was like owning a fun-sized sports car that didn't break the bank. But small sports cars had a short shelf life as people shifted toward bigger sedans and growing SUVs. The MX-3 quietly faded away, leaving behind only a small group of enthusiastic fans. Today, whenever someone rediscovers one, it feels like finding a forgotten toy at the bottom of a childhood closet. Tiny, quirky, and full of life. 2. The Saturn SC, a plastic panel pioneer. Saturn once felt like a bold new start for American cars. Their dealers treated customers like family, and the SC Coupe was the crown jewel, light, stylish, and wrapped in dent-resistant plastic panels. You could bump it with a shopping cart and walk away without a scratch, which felt like a small miracle in a crowded parking lot. The doors opened wide, the seats sat low, and the car gave off a cool, friendly vibe. But Saturn struggled to keep up with a changing market and shrinking budgets. The SC, like the rest of the brand, slowly disappeared from the road. For many, it remains tied to memories of their first car, the key that opened their world, and the freedom that came with it. 3. The Toyota Previa, the space egg van. The Toyota Previa didn't just look different, it was different. With its egg-shaped body, huge windows, and mid-engine layout, it felt like something designed in the future and sent back to the 1990s. It drove smoother than most vans of its day, almost floating down long highways. Families loved how much luggage they could fit and how kids could stretch their legs on road trips. But its strange design made it expensive to update, and newer, boxier minivans took over the market. The Previa quietly stepped aside, but the memory stayed. Anyone who grew up riding in one remembers how the sunlight poured in through those giant windows and how the world seemed just a little bigger from the back seat. 4. The Mitsubishi 3000 GT, the tech-heavy dream. In the early 1990s, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT looked like it came straight from a sci-fi movie. Its smooth shape, hidden headlights, and advanced features made it feel more like a spaceship than a sports car. Some versions had all-wheel drive, adjustable aerodynamics, and even four-wheel steering. It was the kind of car you stared at in magazines and imagined driving along an empty coastal road. But all that technology came at a high cost, and the 3000 GT struggled to keep up with simpler, cheaper rivals. As the years passed, Mitsubishi stepped away from high-performance machines altogether. Today, the 3000 GT is remembered as a bold attempt from a company willing to dream big, even if the world wasn't ready to follow. 5. The Geo Prism, the secret Toyota. Most people didn't give the Geo Prism a second look. It blended into neighborhoods, school parking lots, and office parks without making a sound. But beneath its simple exterior was the heart of a Toyota Corolla. It was reliable, efficient, and built to last longer than many of the flashier cars around it. But the Geo brand never found a clear identity. It felt like a quiet cousin in a loud family. Eventually, it disappeared from dealerships, leaving only a few well-loved examples still humming along. The Prism is a reminder that brilliance doesn't always shine the brightest. Sometimes it's the quiet car that gets you home every time. 6. The Nissan 240SX, the one we didn't appreciate. When the 240SX first arrived, it didn't make a huge splash. It was a simple, rear-wheel drive coupe with smooth handling and a clean design. Drivers appreciated how it felt on a winding road, but it wasn't seen as a wild performance machine. Most people just saw it as another sporty car from Japan. Then, years later, a whole new community discovered it, the drifting world. Suddenly, everyone wanted one, and the once overlooked 240SX became a treasure. By the time people realized how great it was, most were already modified, wrecked, or rusting away. It's a classic case of a car the world learned to love only after it slipped through our fingers. 7. The Ford Probe, the future that never arrived. The Ford Probe had a tough start even before it reached the road. It was originally planned as the replacement for the Mustang, a decision that sparked outrage among die-hard fans. But when the Probe finally arrived, it actually was a stylish, modern car, with smooth lines and a comfortable interior. It felt light on its feet, almost like a sporty companion ready for any weekend adventure. But the early controversy stuck to it, and coupes were starting to fall out of favor. As SUVs grew in popularity, the Probe slowly vanished from Ford's lineup. Even so, those who owned one remember it as a car that tried to bring the future early, only to find the world wasn't ready quite yet. 8. The Subaru SVX, the window within a window car. Few cars are as instantly recognizable as the Subaru SVX. Its unusual window within a window design looked like something from a concept car showroom. Inside, it was quiet, comfortable, and full of smooth power from its flat-six engine. It felt more like a luxury cruiser than a traditional Subaru. But with a high price tag and a confusing identity, it never found a solid audience. Only a small number were sold, and many people today have never even heard of it. For those who owned one, the SVX was a gentle giant, fast when needed, calm when cruising, and always a conversation starter at the gas pump. 9. The Oldsmobile Aurora, the last big hurrah. The Oldsmobile Aurora arrived at a time when the brand needed a new spark. With its sleek body, powerful V8, and modern interior, it felt like the beginning of a new chapter. Drivers loved how solid it felt, almost like the car was carved from a single piece of metal. It was comfortable on long trips and confident on curving roads. But Oldsmobile, one of America's oldest car makers, was already losing ground. Even the impressive Aurora couldn't turn the tide. When the brand eventually shut down, the Aurora became a symbol of what might have been, proof that even in its final years, Oldsmobile still knew how to build something special.